From the hadiths, we understand that this was the group known as Yajuj and Majuj. Some of their physical features made them different from others. The last land Dhul-Qarnayn conquered was the home of Yajuj and Majuj, an isolated Far Eastern tribe, far from civilized life, living primitively unclothed, without homes or buildings. The nations of Yajuj and Majuj appeared after the Great Flood, during the time when life for humans and animals on Earth was beginning again. It is also said that they are from the descendants of Japheth, the son of Prophet Nuh. Because of this and some of their other traits, some say they could have been the early Chinese people. But their lifestyle and strength also lead others to claim they were not human at all. This terrifying group is said to be divided into three types. One group is tall, another is of medium height, and the third, this is interesting, has ears so large they can use them as pillows according to the hadith, from the fact that they will destroy people when they appear before the Day of Judgment. We understand that they are extremely wild beings. Abu Huraira radiallahu an narrated that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Yajuj and Majuj dig at the barrier every day. When they are about to see the sunlight through the opening, the one in charge says, "Go back, we will dig again tomorrow." Then Allah makes the barrier strong again, just as before. When the time comes that Allah wills to release them upon the people, they will dig as usual. And when they see the sunlight through the opening, the leader will say, "Go back, we will dig again tomorrow, insha'Allah." The next day they will return to find the barrier as they left it. They will dig until they break through, and they will pour down from every hill upon the earth. When the promise is near, the eyes of the disbelievers will be fixed in horror, and they will say, "Woe to us, we were in complete heedlessness of this. Rather, we were wrongdoers." In another hadith, it is narrated that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once gave a sermon with his finger bandaged because of a scorpion's sting. In it, he said, "You say that you have no enemy, but you will continue to fight the enemy until the time comes when Yajuj and Majuj will appear, wide-faced, small-eyed, with light brown hair, their faces covered like layers of skin over skin, like shields, and they will rush down from every slope and valley. Because of their flat faces and small eyes, and considering the geography where Dhul-Qarnayn is thought to have built the barrier, some people have suggested that they might be connected to the Mongols. Now let us come to the dark day, when everything will happen, the day the barrier will be destroyed. We are in a time in the future that only Allah knows, a time when many of the great events we have been told about will take place. Let us first look at those days through the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. According to the narration of Zainab bint Jahsh radiallahu anha, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered her home trembling with fear and said, "There is no God but Allah. Woe to the Arabs because of an evil that has come near. Today, a hole this big has been opened in the barrier of Yajuj and Majuj." And he joined his thumb and index finger into a circle. I asked, "O Messenger of Allah, will we be destroyed while there are still righteous people among us?" He replied, "Yes, if evil and sins become widespread." During the time of Prophet Isa, the fitna of the Dajjal had already begun. After the greatest fitna that humanity will ever face, when the Dajjal had caused chaos across the planet and turned people against each other, he was killed. Peace returned, but that period of peace did not last long. The time Dhul-Qarnayn had warned about had come. The permission of Allah was given. The barrier fell. Yajuj and Majuj were released. For thousands of years, without ever tiring day after day, the nations of Yajuj and Majuj, now numbering in the billions, had been digging to reach the surface. Until that day, every time they stopped digging, they would say, "That's enough for today. Tomorrow, we will continue from where we left off." But the next day, they would find the barrier restored to its original state, as if they had never touched it. So what would happen on that day that they would finally break through the barrier after thousands of years? Here is the secret. It was in a phrase they had never spoken before. On the day before their escape, when stopping their work as usual, one of them would say, "That's enough for today. Tomorrow, insha'Allah, we will continue from where we left off." Yes, the word insha'Allah would be the key to their release. As you know, the nations of Ya'juj and Ma'juj were disbelievers. In fact, in one narration, it is said that before the Prophet ﷺ's night journey, Isra and Miraj, he was shown some of the realms and came across Ya'juj and Ma'juj, inviting them to Islam, but they refused to believe. Yet, for some unknown reason, on that day, the words Insha'Allah would come from their mouths. The great day would arrive. The barrier of Dhul Qarnayn would be breached, and the nations of Ya'juj and Ma'juj would pour down from every hill, spreading across the world, destroying everything in their path. They would drink and dry up every water source they found. They would kill so many people that very few humans would remain alive on earth. A horror never seen before would unfold. The Dajjal had brought spiritual destruction, but they would bring far greater physical destruction. Humanity and the world would be on the edge of total annihilation. Prophet Isa made a plan and told the people, "O people, go up to the mountains. Take shelter on Mount Tur. There is no fighting with these creatures. Wait for the decree of Allah." The believers went up to the mountains. Ya'juj and Ma'juj spread across the earth. They dried up Lake Tiberias. They drank the Euphrates River. They destroyed cities. They ate every living thing. From east to west, north to south, the nations of Ya'juj and Ma'juj destroyed and looted everything. When they saw no one left around them, they thought they had killed every human being. Proudly, they declared their power. "We have destroyed the whole world. No one could stand against our strength." But there was something they did not know. The people who had survived and Prophet Isa were still in the world. Prophet Isa raised his hands to the sky. Together with the believers, he prayed, "O my Lord, remove this disaster from us. Save your servants from this torment." The sky became cloudy. Rain began to fall. But this was no ordinary rain. It was the wrath of Allah. A disease came upon Ya'juj and Ma'juj. Wounds appeared on their necks. It was like a worm or a kind of bacteria. In just one night they all died, like swarms of locusts falling dead together. They lay in piles where they were. Billions of corpses remained. The earth became unbearable from the smell. Then Isa alayhi salam prayed to Allah again, and Allah sent great birds. They carried the bodies and threw them into the ocean. Rain fell and cleaned the earth. Thus, this great fitna ended. After Ya'juj and Ma'juj were wiped from the earth, the surviving people came out from their hiding places and began to live again. But why couldn't humanity use its technology and weapons against Ya'juj and Ma'juj? Allah knows best, but there are a few possibilities. The first is that this future time may be an age when technology no longer works, perhaps even without electricity. As Albert Einstein said, "I don't know what weapons will be used in the Third World War, but the Fourth World War will be fought with sticks and stones. Maybe humanity will have gone through great wars, fallen far back, and only after that will these attacks happen." Another possibility is that they are advanced beings, perhaps not from this world. In recent times, even official military records, including those of the United States, have mentioned UFOs visiting the Earth and even being shot down. They may have advanced flying machines and powerful weapons. Whatever the case, once Ya'juj and Ma'juj appear, most of the great signs of the Day of Judgment will have already happened, and that means very little time will remain. Another awaited sign is about to take place, the appearance of a creature believed to emerge from the earth. Tabatul Ard.